All my life I had to be patient. Like Meek Millie, I was dream chasing. Finger to the law when I see haters. Oh, the feeling when you tell your niggas we made it. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. It's showtime like Kareem Lakers.
Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good, man? It's your boy CamJNetwork. Sorry, but not sorry. Boxing Talk live and direct once again, man. Before we get started, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the hype button, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel, man. We definitely active out here. You heard, you know what I mean? And a little reminder as well. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday night, live with PBC director Kenneth Boheri tonight, man. He gonna be live with us talking some boxing tonight, man. So don't miss it. And as well, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Every Wednesday. Sorry but not sorry, Boxing Talk Wednesdays, man. Y'all already know the vibes, man. I'm gonna have a lit show for us for Wednesday night as well, man. So we definitely active. Let's go ahead and get into the video, man, for sure. A lot of drama in boxing, like I said before, you know what I mean? And I wanted to break down Mr. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Romero, the previous events of the last 2-3 days from these guys, you know what I mean, in particular. And we're going to break down from the series of tweets starting from yesterday when we was talking about, you know, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia in particular. You know, Saturday night, you know, Devin Haney, he did this interview, which let me go ahead and play that interview to start this video off right here. And here go Devin right here.
The monster.
You are the welterweight champion and a man in demand right now in that division. But the man you said you want is Ryan Garcia. Is that the fight you're looking for next?
Yeah, I mean, it has a storyline. It has the bad blood. It's a unification now, and it's the biggest fight in boxing. So it's a perfect fight to be made, and right now is the time.
What did you think of Ryan's performance?
I thought Ryan did what he was supposed to. I figured he would do that against Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios was a perfect opponent for Ryan.
Do you think this will be different with you the second time around?
Definitely.
Appreciate it, Devin.
Thank you.
So there you have it. That's Devin Haney Saturday night at the Navarrete Nunes event this past Saturday, and he was talking about, you know, fighting Ryan Garcia, saying that it's the biggest fight in boxing, and that's what he wants next right there. So, you know, after that, then you had Ryan Garcia. He comes on the internet. He drops this graphic of Garcia versus Haney 2 right there. And then Ryan Garcia responds and says, Haney, if it's time to end you, it's time you will be erased. I heard you speaking my name. If this is what you want, let's start the discussions. Mark my words, you'll never fight again after this. So let that sink in, accept it before you say yes. And then Mr. Ryan Garcia responded and says, fans, if you really want this Haney fight next, demand it with everything. I'll do it next, but I need the intensity. And then he follows up and says, fight of the summer. And then as well says, war has been declared, and posts the graphic on Twitter. And then you got Devin Haney, he reposted. And then here go Devin Haney right here. He said, let's start our VADA testing so we make the biggest fight in boxing. And then Mr. Ryan Garcia, he responds and said, start now, no worries. So you got both guys, you know, talking right here in particular about fighting each other, and they basically telling each other that they want to fight. And even, you know, even further, they talk about VADA testing to where, you know, Devin Haney said, let's start our VADA testing so we can make the biggest fight in boxing. Ryan Garcia, he agrees and says, start now, no worries. So the whole testing conversation don't need to be had due to the fact that both guys are agreeing to start talk about testing, you know, ASAP, you know what I'm saying, for the fight. And then Ryan Garcia, he goes in and says Haney doesn't understand he's the B side. And then Devin Haney responds and says, let's understand you lost to Rolly 1 fight ago. 1 fight ago, you weren't even ranked in the division, but you're DMing me talking about you're the A side. I'm number 1 in the division and on the pound for pound list. If you don't want to fight, just say that. Stop trying to gaslight. And understand this right here. Pound for pound lists don't, decide the fact of whether you the A side in fights. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? It matters about your value. And truth be told, if we looking at value between both guys, in recent timing, Devin Haney has fought on 2 undercards, while Ryan Garcia has main evented the last 2 fights he's been in. Devin Haney was on the undercard and he was the co-main event to Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, while he said he lost to Rolly Romero 1 fight ago. You know what I mean? We just got to be real. Turkey Al-Sheikh, if you look at the relationships that Turkey Al-Sheikh has with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, you will see that Turkey Al-Sheikh values Ryan Garcia over Devin Haney, which in that particular situation would make Ryan Garcia the A side. You know what I mean? And far as the fans' sake, you know what I'm saying? Who brings in more fan base, fans as far as the fight in general. You know what I'm saying? What happened in the first fight when Ryan was the A side 55-45 to Devin in the first fight wouldn't change in the second fight. So like I said, pound for pound doesn't make you the A side in the fight. So I don't know where that talking point came from, but that's a dumb talking point from Devin Haney right there. And then he says exactly Doug Talk responding to this guy that's a lame on Twitter, saying the A side, B side talk when Turkey involved is hilarious. I don't know why people keep saying that. You know what I mean? Like the A side and B side exists with every promotional company or every entity in boxing, whether it's Turkey, PBC, Queensberry, Matchroom, whatsoever. Like that's a dumbass talking point right there. The A and the B side does exist because Canelo was the A side over Bud Crawford. Usyk was the A side over Fury. Ryan was the A side over Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, miss me with that dumbass talking point. And Ryan Garcia responds saying Devin clearly letting the fear get to him. He's delusional. In what world does he think he has any say in his heart? He knows he lost that fight because I'm the better fighter. He can't get himself to be truthful to himself about our fight. Probably won't happen because he's a bitch. There's no other excuse. If you are so sure you would have won, you would have took the fight. You won't because you are a bitch. Simple. Knock you down 3 times. Next time you'll get dropped. You'll wake up. Let me drop this banner so we can see the rest. He said, the next time you get dropped, you'll wake up connected to an IV and doctors monitoring you right here, which is crazy, bro. Like I said before on the show, man, yesterday, like there's no way Ryan Garcia is out here vowing to retire me and demolish me in a fight in the rematch, and I don't go after and see that man. Like as a man, bro, it's like a scenario like I gave out to my boy FaZe yesterday, where I was like, if you got into it with a guy, he beat you down, he beat you up in the fight. You know what I'm saying? And then he online, he's still talking about how he beat you up and everything, and talking crazy and bashing your name and everything. Would you want to go and get your leg back from that guy? Absolutely. As a man, yes, you definitely want to go and get your leg back. Not get your leg back for as killing the guy, but get your leg back for as putting your hands up and fighting that man. You know what I mean? Fair and square. You know what I mean? And that's the scenario that we have here. As far as how I feel for as Devin Haney. Devin Haney, he should be wanting to go get this lick back with Ryan Garcia, in my opinion, right now. That's just my personal opinion. And then Devin Haney responds. He says, I fear no one or nothing but Allah. And then Devin says, this one guy says Ryan Garcia, the only one still talking A side, B side in 2026, which is stupid, like I mentioned before. Then Devin responds and says, I've never heard someone say I'm the A side before we even start negotiations. Like Devin has done it in recent time. You know what I mean? Like, so we ain't gonna go there. And Ryan Garcia said, I wanted to make it clear I would do that fight next if we can figure this out, point blank, period. And that's Ryan saying he wants to get the business together and make the fight happen. You know what I mean? Right there. And even back to this, Devin was talking about A-sides talk with Brian Norman Jr. while he's talking about A-side. So Devin can't act like he ain't never talked about I'm the A-side. Like he said he was the A-side over Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like that conversation is really stupid from these guys. Like it really is. And then Ryan Garcia responds and says, fear the Lord. And he also said, my dad has been out coaching Bill since the start and will continue to do so. We will always have the last laugh. And you remember I showed y'all on the show yesterday, Ryan Garcia, he was streaming on Kick. Of course, he be streaming on Kick and YouTube and everything. And he was talking crazy in there, vowing to retire Devin Haney and everything, and saying that Devin Haney is not even the B side, he the Z side. Ryan's talking greasy, man, like talking real greasy for real. And of course, then Ryan and Bill starts to get into it after that. Bill Haney comes into play saying Haney versus Garcia too, done right there. And then Bill, comes in as well, says, stop the built-in if excuse, responding to Ryan Garcia, saying, I would do the fight next if we can figure this out. Well, I mean, my response to that is he wants to figure out the business to make the fight. So I don't see where, Bill come in to play with that, dumb statement right there from him. Then you got Ryan Garcia clapping at Bill saying, shut your bitch ass up. You are somewhat aware, so be real and understand you just want that ass whooping again. My dad will outcoach you any day. You can't keep up. Then Bill responds and said, couldn't make weight. You was 3 pounds over, fake fat boy, and positive for PEDs. Henry does a terrible job with you as a person. So you got Bill disrespecting Ryan and Henry, saying that Henry done a bad job as a father pretty much to the man, Ryan Garcia. And the crazy part, like I said yesterday, they still screaming about these 3 pounds. If y'all had a problem with the weight with Ryan Garcia, y'all shouldn't have took the money. Y'all shouldn't have fought him. Y'all had y'all choice. Bill Haney, you failed as a manager on the business side in this fight with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney the first time. So it's understandable y'all trying to get it right 100% the second time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you had Eddie Hearn advising you around that time when it came up to the weight, saying to put Ryan on a rehydration clause the day of the fight and take the money and stuff like that. And y'all just took the money. Y'all didn't even put a rehydration clause with Ryan Garcia after he missed the 3 pounds. So, like I said, that's voided for me. Y'all can't speak about the weight and complain about the weight because y'all was the same guys at the weigh-in saying that the weight don't matter and Ryan's a C+ fighter. We're going to get him out of boxing. That was words from Devin Haney. So they can miss me with the whole pounds, the whole overweight talk for as Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? That's some soft shit. Now, the PEDs, what we mentioned before with that, Ryan Garcia got suspended for his supplements for not giving the information on his supplements to the New York State Athletic Commission, man. So that's what he got suspended for. He didn't get suspended for the actual Oscar. You know what I mean? It was for him not reporting his supplements to the New York State Athletic Commission. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Hopefully these guys can get going. And I'm going to continue. Ryan Garcia, that's why my cousin beat your terrible lineup, Nutsh's son, and Sean Haney. And then, the man, Bill Haney responds saying another Garcia High Desert robbery. Both your parents were amateur judges, referees, so you all love good hometown rivalries. We fought at your show against your fighter, Crazy, man. Great experience, though. I dare you post the video. And then let me see where we go from here. Let's get into the conversation. Let me play this video too from Bill, actually, right here. And this is Bill from yesterday.
Ain't Devin Ryan, then Ryan is doing the lion. I mean, we were supposed to do it before he went with Rolly. Then he blew the bag with Rolly. And then we set up and we talked about it, and they talked about PTS and all this other shit. It's over with, Oscar. It's over with. Lions, the hiding, the ducking, the playing, the comedian shit that you guys are doing. And that's what I do have to say enough of. On the last stand, let it be the last time we let these jokers get away with comedy. They've turned into comedians. What is all this jokey joke shit for? Huh? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I got the baddest guy in boxing, period. If it ain't Devin Ryan, then Ryan is doing the lion. Ryan, he was at the bottom of the list. He was number 10.
So you got the boy Bill Haney right there, calling, Ryan Garcia, comedian and everything, and pretty much saying that the man Ryan was at the bottom of the list. And I've mentioned to y'all on the show, the list that Devin and Bill has is pure bullshit. You know what I mean? It's bullshit due to the fact that you got Ryan Garcia, a guy that beat you and beat you down, at the bottom of the list at 10. And then he automatically comes up to the list because he beats Barrios. You know what I mean? Which is, he should have been number one on y'all list from the beginning. If it's a real true hit list, like the true hit list that a real hitter would have, is going to have they top victim at the top of the list. Ryan Garcia should be the top of the list. And me just in general, just watching this whole shit play out, I think that Haney's is nervous about Ryan Garcia in the rematch. I think Devin Haney wants the rematch more than Bill Haney does. You know what I mean? But Bill Haney is eerie on the rematch due to, the past. You know what I'm saying? Both of them guys, both Haney guys, got PTSD from Ryan, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I don't doubt that Devin wants to fight. It's just now we got the whole flow of conversation about Rolly Romero that come into play now. You know what I mean? Which is, we about to talk about that in general real quick. So let's start off with the first tweet from Mr. Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero, he pops out, comes out of the woodwork saying Ryan is the biggest coward in boxing, ducked our rematch clause when we had the entire deal, purses, venue, splits done. He gets scared and decides to fight a complete weight drain Barrios. He only wants to fight pillow-fisted bums. So you got Ryan getting clapped at by Rolly right here, out of the blue right here. And then Rolly continues and says, Ryan only had 2 months to prep for me. Wasn't he ready? Wasn't he getting ready for Impo in Japan in December? Wasn't he getting ready for Pitbull? Ryan is the biggest joke in boxing. So now you got Rolly saying that Ryan was capping, talking about he wasn't prepared for him in their fight right there. And then Rolly continues, and he says, Ryan knows if he actually threw punches with me, he knows he'll get knocked out. And one thing I want to say about Ryan and Rolly in particular, as far as my opinion, what I feel with Ryan Garcia, if you're not fighting Devin Haney, I feel like it should be Rolly Romero. You know what I mean? You should go and get your leg back from Rolly Romero for sure. It's the same way with Devin Haney. Same way goes for Ryan Garcia in the Rolly scenario. You know what I mean? But Ryan wouldn't be able to get his leg back if Devin ends up fighting Rolly Romero, which is we about to get into that conversation as far as Rolly and Devin. And Rolly goes on and says, this guy says fight Haney. Then Rolly responds and says he liked to sue people when he loses, but I'll knock him out cold. Let's make it happen. And then he goes on and says Conor Ben is garbage. I didn't want to scare him off. but he ran away anyways. Yeah, of course, Conor Ben and Rolly, they were negotiating the fight in recent time, and then of course Conor Ben ends up signing a 1-fight deal to fight Regis Prograis with Zuffa Boxing for $15 million reportedly, which is nasty work, which we already talked about on the channel already. And then he says no, he'll knock Devin Haney out cold. Let's make it happen. So now you got Rolly talking about fighting Devin Haney. And I wanted to play this video for us with Rolly, what he said a couple weeks ago, because the energy is definitely different from Rolly now a week ago.
Oh, avoiding me. Everybody avoiding me, bro. They want to act like they're big tough guy, but they ain't big tough guy.
What? What about you and Devin unifying? Is there any chance?
Bro, Devin's going to say that and then go all price himself like he always does. Don't bring up Devin Haney. Devin Haney calls out everybody and don't fight nobody.
But you lined up with
And
Ryan,
on top of that, top from that, aside from that, I mean, I knock him out cold, he gonna sue me.
That was a week ago from Mr. Rolly Romero right there, man. Speaking a week ago, talking about fighting Devin Haney right there when he was asked about Devin Haney. And add context back to the tweets, Rolly mentions saying also completely unrelated, and I didn't want to fight Pacquiao out of respect for the legend, nor would I have got my credit, but he kept calling me out, then waste my time because he is so broke he wouldn't stop asking for more money. So that's Rolly saying that Pacquiao outpriced himself on the fight with him and Rolly Romero right there, which is nasty work. Which is it probably may be some truth to that. May have some legs to it because Pacquiao was supposed to fight the exhibition coming up in March, and we don't know if that's happening, but we know it's already reported that Pacquiao is going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather September 19th in Las Vegas. So it may have some legs to what Rolly is saying as far as that. And then a guy asked, Rolly said, trust you would go through VADA before fighting Devin because he will want that then after you knock him out. And Rolly responds and says, VADA, I enrolled in everything without a question every single time. Let's get tested every single day. I don't care. So Rolly acknowledging that VADA testing doesn't mean nothing to him. He don't care. They can test him every day. He's good as far as that. And then he goes on right here. It says, I fight Ryan while he's on steroids and still whoop him. He don't even got to enroll in VADA. I'll roll myself and let him take whatever drugs he wants. If he want to take aspirin, testosterone, or do cocaine, that's fine by me. Have fun. So you got Rolly right there going crazy right there on Ryan right there again. And then Devin comes out and responds, said, what? Rolly, shut the fuck up. And then says, response to Rick Mirjan, because Rick Mirjan, Virgil Ortiz manager, he chimed in talking about, is this photo real, asking for a friend, speaking about the photos that Rolly posted. And then Devin said this was a photo op signing. We did the real signing behind closed door, so let your friend know. And then Rolly response said, you say sign the contract more than anyone in boxing. Stop acting like anyone is ducking you. My manager reached out to your dad, sign the contract. So Rolly posted tweets from Devin Haney talking to Jorge Linares and Jojo Diaz and Shakur Stevenson talking about sign the contract. And that was real funny right there. They did that. And then Devin Haney responds, I ain't know his manager was Luis. That's my guy since way back. We haven't got a call for him though. And then Rolly responds and says, y'all just got the call May 30th, New York City at the Barclays on Amazon Prime. Balls in your court, Ducky. And then the man Devin responds and says, my father spoke with Luis Rolly's manager. Rumors are true. Let's see if we can get this done. And one interesting fact I wanted to add into all of this, though, with Rolly Romero, which was reported from Dan Raphael earlier yesterday morning. He said letters expected to go out this week but the WBA told me Sunday it will order Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield versus Lucas Body for the vacant WBA 135-pound title, and schedule Rolly Romero versus Shakram Giasov purse bid for 147 mandatory, and will order 168-pound titleist Armando Resendez mandatory versus the bully Becknamir. And real interesting for me in this in particular, it looks like Rolly, all his options went off the board, and he don't have no. I told y'all this a long time ago. As far as Rolly and Shakram Giasov, as far as his mandatory, he has no interest in fighting Shakram Giasov because he know the money is going to be low for the fight, and it's a low reward, high risk fight because Shakram Giasov, he's a decent fighter. You know what I mean? So it's a fight that Rolly Romero been trying to get away from for a long time by trying to fight, Manny Pacquiao, then trying to fight Conor Benn in recent time, and now he's trying to fight Devin Haney. Of course, he wanted to fight Ryan in that rematch, but Ryan didn't go back to the rematch. He ended up going after Mario Barrios, which he mentioned earlier in his tweets. But Rolly is trying to rush a fight right now with Devin Haney so he won't have to fight Shakram Giasov because, they say unifications trumps mandatories. You know what I mean? And even further with Rolly from yesterday says, yo, Devin Haney, we called your daddy at noon. Tell him to pick up. We got our side of the deal done. And then Devin responds, Rolly, I've never seen you this thirsty. You must have a deadline to face your mandatory or something. I just mentioned that, right? Where it's pure obvious in 4K that Rolly's rushing because he doesn't want to fight Shakram Giasov with Devin Haney right now. And then Rolly, he pops out and says Devin has officially ducked Rolly, Keyshawn Davis, Tiger Johnson, and still in the middle of suing Ryan Garcia in the zone for airing the fight. See how easy it is to call Devin's bluff? So Rolly, says they ain't heard from the Haneys in conversations, and basically just calling Devin a duck right out the gate. You know what I'm saying? Right there. And then Devin says, I thought you was Jehovah's Witness right there. And I wanted to play this too real quick, just to add context with these guys. And this is Devin from Inside the Ring yesterday.
Has to be realistic in these negotiations. I'm not here to just take anything to get back, whatever. Ryan Garcia, when the ball was in his court, he didn't make weight. He showed up with a positive drug test. It was all over the place. So, we're not going to do it like that time around. We're going to do it the right way. And, so if he doesn't want to do it the right way, then we'll move on. Like I said, we'll go on to fight the guy that beat him and the guy that he doesn't want to rematch. He's not screaming Rolly's name.
That's true.
So, like I said, if that is the case, then we go on and we fight Rolly. And if Ryan Garcia wants to get realistic, then we can make that fight happen now or later. Reach out to us and, what a solid offer, something that, made sense for me and my team. And, now we're starting to negotiate, but we haven't really heard from Rolly, since the Ryan Garcia fight. So, I didn't take it personal. He could say what he want to say. The world knows that, I'm Debo for a reason, because I'm the guy pulling up on everyone and, wanting to make the biggest, best fights happen. So, the duck talk is for somebody else, not for me.
So you got Devin right there mentioning that Ryan Garcia has to come correct with the negotiations in the fight with Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? And in particular, Devin has to understand, he has to know his position and know that you're not going to be the A side in the fight, obviously, because the Turkey Al-Sheikh values Ryan Garcia over you. That's just the truth of the matter. So both guys, as far as Devin and Ryan, has to accept the reality on their positions in the negotiation in that fight, which is Ryan's the A side and Devin's the B side. Nothing has changed there. now you got Mr. Devin Haney talking about Rolly Romero, saying that, you know, they have begun negotiations. So now you got Devin Haney speaking that they have started talking to Luis de Cubas from PBC and Rolly Romero's team about fighting each other. And this is Bill Haney this morning on Rapstar Boxing Channel on YouTube this morning talking about Rolly and Devin right here.
Bill. Hey, listen, we've worked with everybody, and it would be both an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to get in there and face one of those PBC champions. You dig? So that's what we work.
So you got Bill Haney right there saying that he's talked to PBC and they're negotiating with Rolly Romero right now, confirming that. And even as well, to add more context, he just put out a tweet just recently, just now, the last hour, saying that he just got off the phone with Louis de Cuba. Rolly, the ball is back in your court. May 30th, Debo is coming. So looks like Ryan is out of the loop right now on the Devin Haney rematch right now. And Rolly Romero and Devin is moving forward right now. And I want to say this, in my personal opinion, I believe Devin and Ryan should be made right now. You know what I mean? That's just my humble opinion right now. But I'm not mad at the Devin and Rolly fight because it's a unification. You know what I'm saying? But you got to understand, y'all Haney guys, y'all the same guys that said Rolly was trash. Y'all been saying Rolly was trash. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was shitting on him. You know what I mean? And it's funny that y'all want to fight him. You know what I'm saying now? And it's crazy because you got Ryan giving all of this energy saying that he had retired Devin Haney and everything. And you would think that would be the fuel that make Devin Haney want to go after Ryan more than Rolly right now. But like I said, I feel like there's a little bit of nervous energy from the Haneys on the Ryan Garcia fight. And you heard Devin mention already that, that fight will come down the line if it's there. So you got Devin Haney looking at it like, oh, I go ahead and knock off Rolly, then it'll make the fight bigger with Ryan, where it'll be 3 titles on the line with Ryan in particular. But Ryan, of course, he's healing up his right hand and everything, said he's going to be back in July. And so Ryan's going to be looking to come back and fight in July, which is, if the man Devin Haney fights Rolly Romero May 30th or whatsoever, which is kind of hard for me to believe because, I mean, that's 2 PBC pay-per-view events in the same month. You know what I mean? So I guess apparently they had that date booked, and we'll see. But it's kind of hard for me to believe with them having 2 PBC events, May 2nd and May 30th. It's hard for me to see PBC do that in particular, but we'll get to that conversation, down the line. But like I said before, I believe Devin and Ryan should be the fight to make right now. But if Ryan and Rolly goes, if Devin and Rolly goes, then it is what it is. But if Devin and Rolly don't go down, they need to get back with Ryan and Rolly. Ryan and Devin, my bad. They need to get back with Ryan and Devin. And if, like I said, if Ryan don't fight, he don't fight Devin Haney, he need to be fighting Rolly. If he ain't fighting Rolly, then he need to be defending this title, fighting somebody at 147. He don't need to go down to 140 to fight no damn Shakur. His team already said that it don't make sense and they ain't interested in doing that. Yes, we did see Ryan Garcia talk about fighting Shakur going down to 140, but it's not even logical for him to do that. You know what I'm saying? And you got Shakur out here talking about if he fights Devin or Ryan, he wants to fight them on rehydration clauses if they fight at 147 or at a catch weight. And both guys are not willing to do that. So that's why I said, mark my words, you won't see Shakur Stevenson in the ring with Ryan Garcia nor Devin Haney in 2026. So we'll stay posted on this situation, man. But right now it's looking like Devin and Rolly. Devin and Rolly is possibly on the way. And Ryan, he just sitting back on the sidelines watching right now pretty much. You know what I mean? Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, man. Hit the like button, hype this video for sure. And You already know. We'll see y'all tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Kenneth Belhiri from PBC. And we out of here.
All my life I had to be patient. Like Meek Millie, I was dream chasing. Finger to the law when I see haters. Oh, the feeling when you tell your niggas we made it.